Hi, this is Thresden, and this is part 40 of an ESO Collection Blackwood walkthrough. We're kind of getting to the point now to where we're starting to have to do some harder content because all of the easy content we've already done. So the next step to completing the map is to go to Zenithar's Abbey, one of Blackwood's 2 public dungeons. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do right now. I'm going to at least try to do the quest, and I will try to kill all of the bosses, including the group event boss, which will be the hardest one. I may not be able to kill them all, but I'm going to try to kill as many bosses as I can. By the way, I changed some of my build. I turned this into a solo build. I've got Whirlwind, Rapid Strikes, Rending Slashes, Vigor for self-healing, Blade Cloak, that's a defensive ability. I've got lots of healing, Dark Deal, Surge, Hurricane will do some damage, some AoE damage. I've got this, this is an Undaunted skill, Trapping Webs. It ensnares foes and reduces their movement speed. I thought that might be helpful. So just trying to make this character a little bit better at doing really difficult content solo. Now, it's possible we could run across some other players, and they may help us to kill some of the bosses or to finish the quest. That'll be great if we can pull that off. But just in case we can't get any help, I've tried to make this character have as much survivability as I can. We're going to have to kill this world boss over here too. What is this? Toad Tongue War Camp? Surprised we haven't done that one. I'll try to do that one soon. Looks like this is the quest right here. Unless this is some different quest.
Oh, perhaps this bazaar isn't so empty after all. Have a word. It's hard to imagine, but that abbey was once a thriving bazaar, bustling with commerce and teeming with people. Nothing left but rot and overgrowth, and an abundance of dangerous beasts. Well, there is one thing that I hope remains from that time.
What's that?
The Golden Anvil that once graced Zenithar's Abbey when it was still a place of wealth and commerce. It is a holy relic that was stolen and hidden away by avarice. I hope to learn its true whereabouts for the resolutes of Zenithar, my order.
Any luck?
I did not expect quite so many deadly creatures nesting in the Abbey when I set out. Otherwise, I would have enlisted fighters before departing. Priests of Zenithar are not known for their might, but we have deep pockets. Are you for hire?
I am. I'll help you find the Golden Anvil.
The Golden Anvil was hidden away by the Bazaar's Arbitrator, Gavos Douar. We should search the Abbey and learn all we can from Gavos' fall. It may lead us to the Anvil's ultimate resting place.
Tell me more about this Golden Anvil we're searching for.
The Golden Anvil was said to have once been unremarkable iron, worked tirelessly by a pious smith to build a simple trading post. Zenithar transformed the anvil to gold, blessed with divine prosperity for that honest labor. And the Abbey was born.
You think a treasure like that was left here?
Most likely. It's well known that Gavos hid the anvil away before he was overthrown, but nothing seemed to indicate that it was removed from the Abbey. With Zenithar's grace and some hard work, perhaps we'll have better luck finding it.
What else do you know about this place?
As I've said, the Abbey was once a great bazaar, but that alone didn't make it special. Here, people of all kinds exchanged not just objects, but ideas, pieces of their culture. They saw the foreign as something to be valued. Sadly, it didn't last.
What happened?
Those who valued coin more than commerce infested it, until their greed utterly corrupted Zenithar's Abbey. Gavos Douar and his ilk destroyed this wonderful place with their avarice. Not even the anvil was enough for him, it seems.
Who was Gavos Douar?
As Arbitrator of the Bazaar, he was responsible for the peacekeeping forces. Gavos and his soldiers were the only ones permitted to be armed, in the interest of preventing violent disputes. It didn't take long for him to abuse that power.
What happened to him?
The rumors claimed that he used his office to enrich himself and drove this place to ruin through tax, tariff, and embezzlement. Gavos was overthrown eventually, but the anvil was never recovered, and neither was the prosperity it provided.
I'd like to know more about your faith.
You are not familiar with the resolutes of Zenithar? We are keepers of the resolutions, the temples of the divine provider. We offer succor and instruction to those who provide honest labor or wealth. Those who follow our teachings prosper.
I see. What are Zenithar's teachings?
The foundations of civilization and prosperity, labor, commerce, and exchange. Zenithar smiles upon those who work for themselves and others. Through fair and honest trade, we better the world. The teachings show how best to conduct business.
Sounds like a great religion. Where do I sign up? Let me start by getting this artifact for you, and then you can pay me and practice your religion by paying me. How's that? Alright, here we are, Zenithar's Abbey.
So much rot and squalor. Will any record of Gavos or the anvil have survived? The history of this abbey and its fall into ruin remain clouded in mystery. All I know for certain is that the Golden Anvil was never recovered. We should search for surviving records from Gavos' time. Some trail to follow, however waterlogged.
Any thoughts on where we might find clues?
The Bazaar, of course. But this abbey also had a thriving port. And despite its size, if you wish to conduct business in secret, like plot to overthrow a tyrant, you would need to do it somewhere secluded, like the outer grounds.
Okay. So we need to go to the outer grounds. There's this. We need to search for all of the bosses. I know they're in kind of out-of-the-way places. There should be 4 of them.
Some of the buildings and stalls seem intact. Let's start there.
Let me zoom out a bit. Alright, I'm gonna try to go this way.
I really don't like your odds.
Oh, I got an inscribed shard? What is that? A stone fragment with a portion of an inscribed design. By combining 50 of these, you can create a replica Zenithar Adytum gate. That's interesting. to see is there some way to get behind here.
The history of this...
No, I want to take the fish. Okay, so there's no way to get back there. I'm just looking for the bosses because I want to kill the bosses while we're in here. Alright, I gotta go back to here. Because this is where the quest objective is. Tattered Trader's Log. A caravan of Argonians came through today. Managed to haggle for several jars of a strange tree sap. Might make a fair profit if Arbitrator Gavos doesn't come up with yet another inane rule to strangle free trade. I prayed to Zenithar. He'll spare me a droning lecture on why tree fluids can't be traded within the Bazaar. Must be nice, living on the fat of the land without having to do any real work yourself. It's us merchants keeping the goods and gold flowing here. Obstructing trade is bad enough, but I heard he's barred anyone from seeing the Golden Anvil. Standing between us and the divine is a bridge too far. I won't stand for it, and I'm not alone.
That confirms that Gavos stole the Golden Anvil away. But where?
Empty crate. Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, there should be one of the bosses here. Yeah, this is the Frigid Temptress. I'm gonna try to kill her. I might die. This might be impossible to do, but
Yourself in my waters.
yeah, already taking huge damage.
Let us wash your anger away forever.
Whoa.
Embrace us. Let us drown you in love.
No, I don't want any love. I really don't. I just want you to die. Yeah, I was afraid of that. Alright, I'm gonna try this one more time.
Cool yourself in my waters. Let us wash your anger away forever.
Alright, so I don't even think that was the group event. I think the group event is a different one. So if we can't kill that boss, we definitely can't kill the group event. I might not be able to kill any of the bosses here, except for maybe the one that you need to do with the quest. We'll see. We're definitely going to have to kill one boss in order to finish the quest. So...
Keep your guard up until you've got your footing. Try breaking free!
Ah, I'm stuck! Right, wait a minute. Where am I going now? It almost looks like it's back the direction I just came. Lovingly written note. It's happening, my dear. The soldiers have turned on Arbitrator Gavos. I heard he's locked himself in the Abbey's Adytum. So the trade ministers are going to magically seal him inside. The irony is delicious. They've done a great service to us, making all of this happen. Our baby will be able to grow up in a free city where the citizens decide how to conduct their affairs, not some armed warlord declaring edicts from on high. What do you say we name him after one of our liberators? Ralos, Estir, or Quentin? Which trade minister do you like most? We can discuss once you've returned from your father's.
These merchant lords may be the last people to see Gavos alive, but did they find the anvil?
Trying to backtrack and get to where this other quest marker is. Any corpses? This one. Okay. Yeah, I'm mainly just going to try to finish the quest now. After I had trouble with that one boss, I'm not sure I want to try to kill all the bosses or the other bosses.
king.
I don't think it's all in my head, Miri.
I think I'm getting good at this. Oh, I probably shouldn't be proud of that.
Those mobs hit hard. They're not all in my head.
Flashy may get noticed, but style gets remembered.
Alright, here's the next quest objective. Rebel's Fated Letter. Things will move quickly soon. There's a plan to liberate the Abbey from that tyrannical Arbitrator Gavos. I spoke to his soldiers and learned they're not so different from the rest of us. Just trying to earn a living and provide for their families. They don't like what their boss has been doing either, and they're willing to help the people stop it. With them on our side, we can topple the Arbitrator without a fight. The trade ministers plan to imprison Arbitrator Gavos if he refuses to yield his power. They've already hired mages to fashion a magic seal made of 3 sigils, one for each of the trade ministers. All 3 of them would have to agree to release him, so you can pretty much guarantee that bastard will never see the light of day again. Meet me at the usual place tonight, and I'll explain our plans for what happens after.
Gavos must not have been popular if even his own soldiers turned on him. Let me see those documents for a moment. These confirm that Arbitrator Gavos hid the anvil, but not where. There was a rebellion led by the trade ministers that even Gavos' guards sided with. And he locked himself in the Abbey's Adytum.
Do you think that's where he kept the anvil?
I think that's very likely. An Adytum is a sacred place within a temple. Only the clergy are permitted within. It would have been within the Arbitrator's authority to keep it locked and guarded, even from the trade ministers. His personal sanctuary.
And when he wouldn't surrender, they sealed him in.
So it would seem. If the Adytum remains sealed, we'll need the 3 sigils mentioned here to open it. They were last in the possession of the Abbey's 3 trade ministers that we know of. We should search their holdings.
We have to find them first.
Many of these bazaars had a directory to allow patrons to find goods and shops. We should see if we can find mention of the 3 trade ministers, Ralos, Quentin, or Esdir. That should give us an idea where each of them did business.
Who were the trade ministers?
Powerful merchant clergy who organized the trades of the Abbey's bazaar. They were the ones who led the Abbey to great prosperity before Gavos seized power.
If they successfully overthrew Gavos, why did this place sink into ruin?
A good question. Perhaps the cost of that victory was too high, or Gavos' desecration was too great for Zenithar to forgive. If anyone was to have kept records of what actually transpired, it would be the trade ministers.
Okay. Alright, let's see if we can find the records. Let's see, are there any other bosses nearby? I think the others are over here. Just gonna try to finish the quest. If we run into other bosses, I'll try to kill them. But I'm not gonna worry about it too much. This character is just not strong enough at level 41 to be able to take on all the bosses. I could probably do it if I had, like, the best gear, but a lot of my gear is, you know, look at this belt. Level 22. Got level 31 leggings. I mean, there's just no way. Bazaar Directory. Daguerreo's Clothier, Specialty Clothier, Central Bazaar. Relics by Relos. Ancient and Magical Wares, Northwestern Bazaar. Sands of Elsewhere, Khajiit Dry Goods, South Central Bazaar. Magister Quentin's Menagerie, Exotic Livestock, Southeastern Bazaar. Dumozog Metalworks, Fine Jewelry and Minerals, West Central Bazaar. Exalted Estiers, Alchemical Reagents and Flora, East Central Bazaar.
The letters mentioned the 3 trade ministers. Now that we have the directory, it should lead us right to their holdings.
Okay.
I don't want to hurt you, but now I'm going to.
I didn't see them until it was too late. Same thing here. These guys were laying on the ground. Oh boy, what's this?
Roll if you can!
Luckily, my ultimate came up right then. That might have been a tough fight otherwise. Rallos' charred journal. Gavos is finished. As I expected, his petty soldiers had a price. It didn't take much convincing for Quentin and Estier to agree to it. We have enough gold between the 3 of us to buy them 5 times over. Now he's locked away with his precious anvil, and the rest of us can get back to turning some real profits without his constant interjections about what's fair. What would he know? We're the reason this bazaar thrives, not his moralizing, and not some trinket. The newly appointed arbitrator visited today. He offhandedly suggested an increase in his weekly take and implied wanting enough gold to plan a vacation under the setting sun. His choice of words seemed too deliberate. Does he know my secret hiding spot? Was I not as careful as I thought? Whatever the case, we can afford to grease his palms more generously for now, but he may need to be replaced if he knows too much about my affairs.
What? The soldiers were bribed? After all that talk about righteous rebellion, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
Get back, you fetcher!
Alright, now the Sky Shard is right up... right up there. Got to figure out how to get up there. Guess this is it?
You can make it! Keep moving! You're like the legend of Beck!
What? She liked that. She called me a legend of Vec. Can't get in this way, huh? Alright, how do I get over there? Here we go. of the quest objectives is over here. It says investigate Esdir stall. Should find another document here, maybe. Esdir's old journal. Ralos and Quentin must think I'm as much a fool as Gavos. I know what they're up to. With him out of the picture, they're expanding their stock. Forbidden magical relics, aggressive exotic beasts. They're trading anything and everything they can get their greedy hands on. Well, I won't have it said that they left old Esdir in the dust. I have a shipment of skooma coming in, and I'll make sure I'm the only one selling it in the entire Abbey. People will tire of their trinkets and wild pets soon enough, but there will always be a market for skooma. Quentin has been talking about the anvil, saying he has a buyer lined up and we should retrieve it to sell. If it's truly worth the effort, he's likely to want it all for himself. I moved my sigil, just to be safe, to my favorite drinking spot perched high above the busy streets.
Trade Minister Esdir trafficked in skooma. No wonder Zenithar abandoned them.
Yeah, looks like everything went to hell in a handbasket once the leader was gone. So, I thought the quest objective was up here, but it's not. It's down here. Quentin's secret correspondence. My friend, I will have the anvil for you soon. Since everyone already believes it was stolen by Gavos Douar, no one here will ever miss it. I only need to arrange some help from two of my fellow ministers. They've been a bit uncooperative lately, but I'm sure once I introduce them to the Minotaur bodyguard you provided, they will become far more agreeable. There cannot be any delay, however. If they suspect anything, I may not be able to secure the anvil for you. So please come to Zenithar's Abbey as soon as you can. When you arrive, meet me behind the forging fires, and I should have everything we need.
So they knew where Gavos had the anvil. They just wanted the opportunity to steal it for their own gain, instead of returning it to the people.
Yep, what you've been told was wrong. Decrepit chest. Ralos' sigil key, one of 3 magical keys to opening the Abbey's sealed Adytum.
There must have been little trust between the trade ministers for them all to have hidden their sigil keys from each other. We're close to...
Oh, he's gonna say something different.
We're close to freeing the Golden Anvil from the clutches of greed. I can feel it. We just need to figure out the trade minister's hiding spots from the clues they left behind. I pray the sigils are still in place and intact.
I could use your help with locating the sigils.
Of course. This toil is ours to share. What is it you'd like help with?
What do you make of this letter Quentin left behind?
He never got the opportunity to send it seems. He doesn't say as much, but this meeting spot he suggests to his contact might also be where he hid his sigil for safekeeping. Behind the forging fires could mean the smithy. Couldn't hurt to check.
Okay, where do you think Esdir's drinking spot would have been?
Obviously somewhere with a fair vantage and out of the way. It's a hiding spot, after all. It might be close to a brewer or importer, though, just not likely where the usual clientele would drink. The directory might help point the way.
Alright, well, I'll just rely on my quest map instead of looking at the directory. Okay, where is it? it up above me? Yeah, it's up above me. Here it is. Old rusty lockbox. Esdir's sigil key. All right, one more sigil key. We'll be able to get the anvil. I think I probably need to go down and then to the right. Still up there. Here we go. Dirt mound. Gonna dig it up. Quentin's sigil key.
Oh, that's all 3 sigils. We can unseal the Adytum. It will be within the Abbey's temple. There! That should be the Abbey's Adytum. It worked! The Adytum is unsealed. Let's not waste another moment. Is that... No. This can't be the Golden Anvil, can it?
It was abandoned to the hardships of time, as I was. But the anvil's sparkle began to fade well before the Abbey's fall. I should have worked harder.
It can't be. Are you... Gavos Douar? It's been nearly... How are you alive? This is all too much. Talk to Gavos, please. I must attend to the holy relic.
Right?
It seems I've finally paid my penance to Zenithar for letting this glorious place crumble. Oh, so many years alone. But I never gave up.
How did you survive being imprisoned in here?
Honest toil. Zenithar provides to those who work. Just as the seal kept out the war that raged between the trade ministers. The cracks let in the rain, and the roach, and the rays of the sun. These were my wages for care of the anvil, and prayer.
What happened to the Golden Anvil?
I barely recognize it myself. Pitted and corroded beyond repair. I did my best to preserve it, not nearly enough. Its glow began to fade as the Abbey became corrupted by avarice, opulence, and depravity. So, I hid it away before anyone took notice.
They claimed you stole it for yourself.
I know. I had no defense against their wealth and their poisoned words. The harder I fought to curb their ambitions, the more I became their common enemy. Once I was gone, though, they were free to fight among themselves. They tore this place apart.
I should discuss this with Daluion.
I can still feel Zenithar's presence here, however faint. All is not lost.
It looks pretty bad. That looks like a pretty corroded anvil. It's definitely not gold, because gold doesn't corrode.
For what it's worth, I believe Gavos speaks the truth. I can see great care has been taken for this anvil, in spite of the toll of years and the corruption of the Abbey. Zenithar has not fully abandoned this house.
So your quest was successful?
Almost. The Golden Anvil hangs on by a thread, thanks to Gavos' care. But it will fade completely if Zenithar's faith in us is not renewed. There is hope, both for the Anvil and, Zen willing, the Abbey.
What do you mean?
Zenithar is the divine of honest work and just rewards. You have labored tirelessly on the behalf of his faithful. The first pure, unsullied toil this place has seen in ages. Let us dedicate our compact in the name of Zenithar, in his holy house.
And that will restore the anvil?
No, only hard work can return the anvil in the Abbey to glory. But Zenithar may see that this place is worthy of redemption and renew his blessing upon them. Will you make this offering with me?
I will.
Blessed Zenithar, I bring you this laborer whose calloused hands do your blessed work. Please, lay your hand upon the anvil. By these hands and this coin, an honest day's work is done in your name. May it be the first of many to come. Trade be. Oh, the anvil! Zen's light shines brightly once more!
Trade be. My work here is finally done. Now, all I ask for in return is to see the open sky.
You have earned that much and more. I'll get the door for you.
We just gonna leave the anvil in here? Seriously?
You have been a great boon to the resolutions of Zenithar. I could not have found the Golden Anvil without you, let alone save it from its ignominious fate.
What happens now?
I'll inform my order, and through our efforts, perhaps they'll be able to restore this abbey to glory. Regardless, Zenithar leaves no debts, and you more than earned your due. Take this blessed coin with all my thanks.
We got a piece of the frostbite set.
Even now, Zenithar is teaching me. I came seeking his blessings of wealth, and instead I find a life he spared from the sickness of greed. The true divine wealth we discovered here is that old man. I'm certain.
What makes you say that?
I didn't seek out the Golden Anvil for its material worth. I was in search of something touched by the divine. To have endured so long in that tiny prison, he must truly have communed with Zenithar during his captivity.
You think it's a miracle that he's alive? An actual miracle?
What else would you call it? He stayed true to the teachings, and carried the resolve of Zenithar in his heart to endure, even as everything around him crumbled to dust. Faith like that is worth far more than gold. We can learn much from Gavos.
You make him sound like a saint.
If the Primate agrees, he might very well become one. Miracles aside, Arbitrator Gavos is a wealth of knowledge long thought lost, and he has witnessed firsthand how even a holy temple of Zenithar can become corrupted by avarice. Lessons to remember.
Fair point.
Without you, the Abbey's downfall would remain a cautionary tale with all the wrong lessons, and poor Gavos its villain. Zenithar shone a light on the truth through you, laborer. Your works honor us both.
All right.
I'd like you to accompany me to the resolutions of Zenithar, Gavos. Your story is one we should all hear.
If this old man still has use left in him, it's Zenithar's to command. I knew I would be free one day. Zenithar exacts his price, but never more than what is owed. With his forgiveness, perhaps now I can earn a modest living for the twilight of my years.
So tell me about yourself, Arbitrator Gavos. Douar?
Oh, I'm no one. I was the Arbitrator of Zenithar's Abbey long, long ago. It was my duty to resolve disputes and ensure the safety of the Bazaar. I failed, and so this place lies in ruin. But if others wish to learn from my mistakes, I'll oblige.
Why blame yourself? The trade ministers caused all this.
There were good people here. I was the one who was supposed to protect them from the unscrupulous few. But I wasn't wise enough to outwit them. If I'd had more to offer than platitudes, perhaps the others would have stood by me. Only Zenithar knows.
What happened to the Golden Anvil?
It was just returning to what it once was. A simple source of labor for the blacksmith who founded the Abbey. Legend held that Zenithar's blessing transformed it. Well before my time. When I became Arbitrator, it was already radiant, one of a kind.
What caused it to fade?
I suspect as greed took hold of the Bazaar, Zenithar lost his faith in us. I hid it away, so as not to cause panic, but I think that may have been my greatest mistake. He was trying to show his disapproval, and I silenced it. That was my crime.
Wow. Alright, well, it's a shame I wasn't able to kill any of the bosses. I don't even know where they all are. I believe there's
Let's
4 of
not
them.
get separated. I'd rather not be alone in this place.
No problem, Miri. Just keep up with me. Yeah, so there's a lot more to that public dungeon than what you saw there. There's a lot of bosses. It's a really fun place, and you get achievements when you kill the bosses. So if you can kill all of the bosses, you get, I think there's an achievement you get for killing all of them. Alright, so that's going to be it for this episode. In the next episode, we will go to... This is probably going to be the other public dungeon. The Silent Halls. That'll be where we go next. Thanks for watching. See you next time.